Hopefully things are going well for you guys. As for me, welcome to the Gamer Man's Lounge. And today I figured I want to go ahead and do a little quick video that's going to be a mixture between channel update and discussion video. And I figured I want to go ahead and get that out there because I made some calls considering the things that have been going on in right now and how things ended off in 2026 and I also had to count in the crazy stuff that happened over fall and summer 2025. And I figured, okay, considering all these things, okay, we're headed to this point, so I figured I had to go make a certain call. I'll get into detail, so let's go ahead. Okay, for starters, I'm going to go ahead and say it even though I said it dozens of times. Okay, I am made very well aware of things that have been going on in the world of gaming, in the world of tech, in the world of anime and manga while I'm working on video content. Hell, I wake up every morning, I look at social media pages and things that would show up on my For You pages or on my Twitter feeds or social media feeds whatsoever, and news stories occasionally do pop up. And yes, I am made very, very well aware of situations from left and right that can be very concerning, and some of these things can be discussed about when it comes to my news videos. However, January started and we're in February, and we had a hell of a start. I'll tell you what, it was a hell of a start. Hell, we even had a close call with one game, especially a gacha game, and boy oh boy, that was a close call. Here at Gamer Man's Lounge, if something needs to be said, it needs to be said, okay? No sugarcoating, no false hope, no saying everything's okay when everything's not, okay? None of that, okay? No sugarcoating. What needs to be said regardless. And with that totally said, and I'm gonna say this, and yes, okay, the next time I see a Gaming is Dead video, I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt, and I'm gonna basically say, hey, I have some things that could serve as evidence. I could add something to this video, into the conversation, even though I'm watching a video. But I am gonna go ahead and say it. Gaming is in a dire crisis, a really dire crisis right now. When it comes to the quality control in our games and hardware and even our operating systems, things have been going worse in terms of quality control. Absolutely. And there's that other thing that's going on with hardware. I'll talk about that a bit later. But right now, we need to talk about the quality control and stuff. The RTX 50 series disappointed like hell. Windows 11 has been getting disaster updates. And Windows has been the most relied on operating systems, and it's gotten too bad where things are beginning to change as more and more people begin to flock from Windows to Linux, and Linux still has some situations like, hell, you have to go through some hoops to get, say, games like Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves to work on Linux. So, having to end up feeling like you have no choice but to go to Linux because Windows have gotten worse is not a good thing, okay? And of course, when it comes to disaster game updates, boy, we learned that the hard way. And of course, game releases that shouldn't have never happened in the first place. And of course, disaster game releases that should have been bangers, but not really. Things starting to fall apart. It is what it is. Excessive censorship has been getting worse and worse in video games, regardless of age rating whatsoever. It doesn't matter if it's rated for older audiences. No, even if it's a game rated for older audiences, these people feel the need to get this game censored to the point where this game that's rated for older audiences is treating the older audiences it's targeting like they're younger audiences. And it's been getting worse and worse, and it's been getting more ridiculous than ever. And this is something that we have been learning the hard way about how worse it is over summer 2025, and it's still going strong, okay? Hell, we almost had a close call when it came to Brown Dust 2, and boy oh boy, the Brown Dust 2 situation went really crazy. It was a really big close call, and the crisis was absolutely averted. Now, the communities of these games have been scrambling to solve the mystery on who's been trying to get this game censored, who's been trying to pressure devs into censoring that game, and yeah, the detective work is getting kicked in as we speak. And of course, the monetization practices have been getting more worse than ever. They're getting more dirtier than ever. Absolutely dirtier than you think. And boy, oh boy. Oh, right. All right. I'm going to go address that elephant in the room. Okay. Ah, yes, that's right. The shortage in hardware. RAM shortages, solid-state drive shortages. It's harder to come by when it comes to data storage. It's hard to come by when it comes to RAM because of how expensive RAM is right now and how scarce RAM is right now. And we're seeing hardware, including RAM, increase in price. And it's all happening because everybody is quadrupling down into this AI boom. This big, giant cash trend known as AI. This big old bubble known as AI. AI this, AI that, and it's beginning to show that there is going to be a domino effect that is going to lead into some serious situations that could happen to everybody down the line. So, when I made that commentary video the other day saying something about how we're nearing another great gaming depression and it's going to be worldwide, yeah, it's definitely going to be a thing. We don't know how sooner is it going to come. So, yeah, you have the censorship, you have the hardware shortages, you have the predatory practices, you have this and that, and this and that, and this and that, and then you kind of wonder from left and right, something's going on. And I've been having this feeling, and I'm going to add to it there, I've been having this feeling that the customer and the consumer and the audience is going to be replaced. And, yeah, and once we realize that, it's going to be too late. Like, we, the audience who play those games, we, the audience who watch those movies, eventually we will get replaced. So this is going to basically, let's just say, in theory, everyone's going to get replaced, right? So, yeah, I have that feeling that it's definitely going to happen because of the AI boom and because corporations are wanting to buy up stuff from left and right, even if it's for AI boom and whatnot. And yeah, considering the things that are going on right now, I had to go ahead and make some calls, okay? All right, so for short form content, I am kind of experimenting on how things are going to work. I'm ending up learning the hard way that I can't just go and just upload short form videos every day. And that ends up creating some complications, so I have to be very careful with upload schedules in terms of short-form content. I don't know what's going on, or what it is. It's kind of weird. Alright. But in terms of long-form content, I am going to get things figured out, especially when it comes to video schedules for the foreseeable future, as a matter of fact. And I'm going to go ahead and say it right here and right now. I have already gotten videos figured out way up ahead. I have had a huge future-proof video scheduled figured out. It's already figured out, all the steps that are needed to be done and figured out. So yeah, I did that. And I had to focus on doing some more of the future-proofing in terms of long-form content, considering things that have been going on right now. As I have already gotten a few things out of my chest, the lounge is going to be focusing more on content for short-form content and Gamerman's archival. So I'm definitely going to be going in and finally start balancing things out in terms of work on Gamerman's archival and short-form content compared to like long-form content, which I have been working heavily on again, considering the things going on right now. So with that totally said, yeah, I am figuring out how am I going to go about my short-form content, how I'm going to go about my archival content, and also then I can start worrying about my long-form content a little bit later, okay? Already done the long form content way too much. Okay, we need to have a balance. So, yeah. Okay, something that's gonna end up happening on my end. Okay, this is where I go ahead and say it, and it just popped in my head just now. Retro game collecting, I'm still gonna do it. And yeah, especially considering the fact that I'm going to end up preserving these games for the foreseeable future anyway. Okay, I want to get my hands on more hardware that will let me preserve retro games, even cartridge or disc, okay? I want to get them preserved as I start buying new retro games, okay? When I do that, I want to make sure I still have access to my retro games library for the foreseeable future, no matter what, even if I don't have the systems, okay? So yeah, I am going to still resume retro game collecting, and I am going to still make sure in my power to do anything I can to get my hands on hardware that will let me preserve my new retro game purchases, okay? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut myself off. I don't wanna go on for too long. That's all. I will be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out.